This is Alaya Online Radio TV. Good day and welcome to our news update. Here we brings you combination of major stories from around the world and important developments from Western Nigeria. Stay tuned as we keep you updated. Here are the news. Trump rehashed 15-point Iran play unlikely to appease terror. In details, the 15-point framework place for peace with Iran that Donald Trump has said is being discussed is based on a proposal put forward by his negotiating team during nuclear talk almost a year ago. Diplomats with knowledge of the talk believe that Origin 15-point plan was the basis for the negotiations in late May 2025, shortly before the talk collapsed due to Israeli airstrike on Iran nuclear program. There has been much speculations as to what Trump's latest claim plan contained and how much of it has been updated from the now outdated document the US presented to the Iranians last May. The fact that the plan may largely be rehearsed of something that Iran did not accept a year ago suggests either a lack of US seriousness about the taking being planned for this week, or more likely a desire by Trump, for whatever reason, to pretend on Monday he has made more progress toward a deal than in reality he had. The Iran accused Trump of trying to claim the US market before they opened by saying he was not going ahead of the threatened attack on Iran energy infrastructure on Monday night. He said he was postponing the strike for 5 days to give them time if 15 points of agreement could be reached. The US president claimed very good and productive conversations has led to progress over the previous 2 days. Iran denied there has been any back-channel talks save indirect discussion about reviving talk. Fire at Kuwait airport after drones attack. In details, Kuwait air defense are responding to missile and drone attack, its army said on Wednesday. In a post to X, the army said any explosion that may be heard are the result of air defense system is intercepting hostile targets. Earlier, a drone attack hit a fuel tank and sparked a fire at Kuwait Airport. According to Kuwait Civil Aviation Authorities, emergency procedures were activated immediately with firefighting team responding to blasts, it said, adding that initial reports indicate only materials damage. US-Israel war on Iran, what is happening on the 26th day of attack. In details, UK, the war launched by the United States and Israel against Iran continue even as efforts to reach a diplomatic solution increase and there are conflicting claims about possible negotiation. Strike and missile attack has been reported in Iran, Israel and across the Gulf. At the same time, the US has signaled both military escalation and openness to a deal. The conflict continues to roil global energy markets, especially because of the disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. Ongoing conflict and strike, US and Israeli attack on Iran are continuing. A recent raid in southern Tehran killed at least 12 people and wounded 28, while additional explosion in the eastern Tehran reportedly destroyed a school and several residential buildings. Belarus Lukashenko makes first visit to Northern Korea in bid to deepen ties. In details, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko has begun his first official visit to North Korea in a bid to strengthen ties between the two countries united by their support for Russia's war in Ukraine and accusation of authoritarianism and rights violation. Belarusian state news agency Beta said the 2 days visit that kicks off on Wednesday aimed to identify key areas of mutual interest, and the most promising projects for implementation. Lukashenko was quoted by Beta as saying the time has come to step up relationships. The current situation is simply pushing us into each other's arms, he added. The Belarusian president said the plan to sign a treaty of friendship and about to turn agreement during the visit. Kim Jong-un and Lukashenko meet in September in Beijing when they attended a military parade at Tiananmen Square, where the Northern Korean leader reportedly extended an invitation. In a letter to Lukashenko earlier this month, Kim said he was willing to expand the traditional relationship of friendship and cooperation to a new, higher stage in line with the demands of the new era, the North official Korean Central News Agency KCN reported. Diving into the western Nigerian, trailer crushes 6 to death in Oyo State. In details, a petrol-laden trailer on Tuesday crushed 6 persons to death, including a motorcyclist, while several others sustained varying degree of injury in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The truck, said to be carrying 45,000 litres of premium motor spirit, was also reported to have destroyed about 5 tricycles in the incident. Our correspondent, who visited the scene and the Mapo police station, gathered that the accident occurred at the fruit market along the Ojebere road in the Ibadan Southeast local government area of the state. Eyewitnesses attributed the crash to brake failures as the truck descended the busy Mapo Bere Oje road. One of the affected tricycle rider, Ademola Aderibigbe, who sustained a minor leg injury, said he narrowly escaped death after the tricycle was hit by the tanker. I was very lucky. I had just left the mechanic workshop and was testing my tricycle around the Bere roundabout when I suddenly heard a loud noise. The impact pushed me aside. By the time I got out an injury on my leg, the trailer has already sped off toward the OJ axis, he said. He added that several tricycles were crushed in the same process. Another eyewitness, Sulaiman Ogutayo, lamented the recurring accidents along the road. The driver lost control at the very end of the road and ran over 2 tricycles, killing passengers before heading toward OJ Market. Efforts to stop the truck failed as it continued and killed more people there. The victims died on the spot, while others injured are receiving treatment in hospital, he said. Ogutayo called on the state and local government as well as the relevant enforcement agency to address the persistent accidents in the area. At the Mapo Divisional Police Station, the grieving relative of one of the victims recounted the loss and amid tears. My brother just named his daughter 3 days ago. I thought he would survive, but he later died in the hospital. He left behind a 10-day-old baby, the relative said. Another eyewitness, an Okada rider identified simply as Gafaru, claimed that the death toll could be higher than reported, noting that some victims were yet to be identified. Confirming the incident, a senior police officer who spoke on condition of anonymity said the case would be transferred to the Criminal Investigation Department for further investigation. The police public relations officer in the state, Olayinka Ayalade, also confirmed the incident but said the exact number of casualties has yet to be ascertained as of press time. 3 head in Oyo over suspected human part trade. In details, the Oyo State Police Command said it has arrested 3 suspected for an unlawful possession and sales of suspected human parts in Ibadan. The command disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday signed by Ayalade Olayinka, noting that the arrests were part of ongoing efforts to rid the state's criminal activities through proactive policing. According to the statement, the suspected were apprehended during a routine stop and search operation along the Adekili area of Agugu. It stated it was during one such operation along the Adekile area of Agugu that a patrol team intercepted an unregistered Baja Boxer motorcycle. During a search, the rider was apprehended and a package containing flesh suspected to be human part intestine was recovered. The police identified the first suspect as Oyategbe Joseph, who was arrested at the scene. The suspect confessed that he has obtained the suspected human parts from an unknown individual in the Oritakperi area and further admitted to selling the items to two persons, the statement added. Following his confession, the police arrested two additional suspects identified as Afar Onolapo Taiwo, 46 years old, and a pastor, Ayodele Taiwo, 55 years old. Yaba residents protest alleged encroachment on estate playground. In details, residents of Moore Road Estate, Ibikunle CDA in Yaba, Lagos have expressed concern over what they describe as an attempt by an unknown developer to encroach on a parcel of land originally designated as a playing ground and car park within the estate. The residents are calling on relevant authorities to intervene and clarify the ownership and status of the land to prevent a possible breakdown of law and order. Chairman of the Moore Road Estate Area CDA, Mr. Mobolaji Campbell, said the disputed land was originally marked for recreational purpose when the estate was redeveloped. He said this place was designated as the playing ground when the estate was rebuilt, but suddenly we started hearing claims that it has been sold. He noted that community leaders have taken the matter to the appropriate government authorities to prevent tension from escalating. He said, "We have gone to report the issue because we don't want this matter to degenerate. Some people even suggest removing the transformer there and replacing it with a smaller one, which is unacceptable to residents." He recalled that in the past, a government agency attempted to illegally occupy the parking area in 2007 by commencing the construction of a two-story lock-up shop complex on the land originally designated for parking and recreation. According to him, the relevant authority hated the construction after reconsidering the actions was taken without community consultation, adherence to planning regulation, and indirect violation of the approved master plan. He said government inquired the disapproved the construction, affirming others' position that the land used was inconsistent with the master plan. That brings us to the end of our news update. I am Oluwatoyin Elebuti. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more at Alayo Online Radio TV. Thank you for watching.